Howdy. So in this video, um, I'm going to be scheduling some practice um, for jazz piano skills. Um, I have a bachelor's in jazz piano, but I've always felt that my just scheduling practice has not been the most structured and organized thing for me. So one of the things that I've been doing for the last almost 2 months now is just writing down things that I'm specifically practicing every day. If I'm practicing with a metronome, what tempo am I practicing it at? Um, if I'm not practicing with a metronome, I'll just write out of time. Um, let's see. So one of the things that I'm realizing is a huge thing that I want to get together is um, learning melodies to tunes really robustly. So um, uh, one of my kind of tasks that I gave myself a week or two ago was to just write down the names of melodies that I want to get together really strongly. Um, so I have had for a couple of years a spreadsheet that just has um, tunes that I know pretty well, tunes that I kind of know, and then tunes that I don't really know yet but I want to learn. Um, um, but I haven't really put together like, okay, what do I mean by like I really know this tune, or what do I mean by I kind of know this tune, or what do I mean by I don't know this tune? Um, like, have I practiced this just like in straight quarter notes at this tempo? Have I practiced it at this tempo? Have I practiced like the left hand voicings at this tempo? Have I practiced like targeting thirds? Like, what have actually been the practice steps that I've taken to say that I know or kind of know this tune? So that's just one of the examples of something that I want to be a little bit more organized about, and a little bit more specific about. Um, anywho, I wrote down um, in my practice notebook a list of some tunes that I have in like the I know these tunes column in my spreadsheet. Here they are. If you want to pause and look at these, they're there. Some of them have acronyms like Days of Wine and Roses right here. It Could Happen to You. There Will Never Be Another You, just to kind of as a shorthand. If you want to pause, you can take a look at those. And so I don't know, this is probably like, I don't know, 20 tunes maybe, 25 tunes that I would say I know pretty darn well. But I haven't gone in and said, so these are tunes that I would say like I know pretty well, but I haven't gone through and said like, okay, I've practiced the melody at this tempo, I've practiced it at this tempo, I've practiced it at this tempo, I've practiced playing these chord tones, I've practiced playing these shapes. I've practiced playing left-hand voicings, I've practiced playing open voicings, I haven't done any of that. So what I'm going to do right now is just schedule out specific times to work on each of these very the SMART goals, kind of practice drills and exercises over these tunes. So SMART goals, like, I don't know, it's all over the internet. I think probably some author wrote about it. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time sensitive. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So on my phone here, I have just my calendar app. Whoa, look at this Drosta effect. Look how cool that is. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Okay, so here I've been just kind of using this to schedule out, okay, at this time I want to work on this, this time I want to work on this time I want to work on this. And I've been using this for a lot of other stuff in life. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing that, just to be more organized with my life and just have more structure. But yeah, I want to schedule out specific times to work on specific aspects of these tunes. So that's just what this process is going to be, and it may be a little bit boring, and that's okay. Like, I think a lot of the time doing this process is not like the most flashy thing ever, but I feel like for me, this was always the thing. Like, I don't know, just like stuff that you find on the internet about jazz pedagogy is always very like, oh, like practice this 2-5-1 thing. Um, but there's never been like kind of like meta practice or like meta pedagogy where like somebody shows you how you decide what you're going to practice in a like a structured way. Um, so I'm hoping through this video I can offer that, even if it's a little boring. I would rather have really great contact, really great um, useful content here that's not very flashy than more flashy content that's not actually that useful and applicable. So, um, yeah, here we go. Okay, so um, There Will Never Be Another You is a tune that I've played so many times. I'm going to say that one I'm not even going to worry about. Miss Jones, same deal. Um, okay, Fly Me to the Moon. One way that I can practice this is um, playing it with both hands and singing the words. It's just playing the melody to both hands, like in octaves, and singing the melody simultaneously, very straight metronomic. Um, and I think a range of tempos that seems to work nicely um, is like about 100 BPM up to 180 BPM, increasing 10 BPM each time. So I think that's what I'm going to. Um, that's how I'm going to do. I'm going to schedule that. So Tuesday the 13th at 11. I'll make a little 30-minute practice session. So here's what I'm going to say. Fly me to the moon. Actually, what I think I may do, instead of doing the range from 100 BPM to 180 BPM, going up by 10, I think I'll just pick one tempo and do it in every key at that tempo. So I'll do a pretty easy tempo, maybe even 100 BPM. Let's see. That's probably like 80 or 90. Let's say fly me to the moon around the cycle. Both hands in octaves. And singing melody straight. Let's say let's say Fly Me to the Moon, melody straight around the cycle, both hands in octaves, and singing melody. Yeah. At quarter note equals 100 BPM. So, cool. So I have this scheduled for 2 days from now. Have it set as a 30-minute thing. I think that'll take about 30 minutes. I guess we'll see. Okay. Okay, now our question is, how often do I want to schedule something like this? I think pretty often. I think that I could do that with a tune. Hmm. Let's let's just see what we get. Okay, so the other thing that I'm thinking is the other thing that I want to practice on Tuesday from 11:30 to noon. Um, oops, is I want to practice sight reading. And whoa, whoa, how do you spell sight reading? Um, yeah, I guess we'll see if that fits within that time. Um, as I'm thinking about this now, I also want to um, I want to I want to brainstorm some ways to practice sight reading that are a little bit more. I just want to mix it up a little bit because what I've been doing over the last several weeks is just practicing um, hymns from a hymnal, um, just going straight through and um, yeah, just going straight through at like a certain tempo, like quarter note equals 60, or if you really want to do it, like eighth note equals 60 or something in that range. Um, that's kind of what I've been doing. Um, and that has been getting a little bit stale. I think there may be some kind of sub tasks that I can do there. Um, one thing I actually had scheduled is to go, or I don't have this scheduled, but I have it as a task in my book full of tasks that I want to do at some point. Um, at one point, I want to go through and look for strange voicings that are maybe a little bit weird to analyze within the hymnal and work on those in different keys and figure out, okay, can I find another if I am looking at one specific voicing that's maybe like an inversion of something, or maybe it has like some suspensions, so it's not like truly a triad. Maybe I look through the hymnal and I see if I can find any other examples of that. Um, basically, I guess the idea is I want to brainstorm different ways of practicing sight reading that are um, a little bit more targeted um, and um, that aren't just super, super, super repetitive. Um, I think that in a lot of ways having a lot of repetition is good, but I want it to be engaged repetition. So I think what I'm going to do here is say on, let's see, on tomorrow, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to still just practice 5 hymn excerpts. I also wrote down a list of excerpts from this hymnal that either have tense or they have accidentals, um, or they have like voice crossings or shared voices, like specifically between the alto and tenor, because I've noticed that those kinds of areas tend to trick me. They're very tricksy. So I wrote down a list of excerpts that have that, and usually there's just like a measure, or maybe there's a couple of measures in a row that have one of those characteristics. So I wrote down some of those, and I've been pulling from those a little bit just to kind of target that. So I think I'll do that for 30 minutes tomorrow. After I have these patterns that I've been exercising, or that I've been practicing. It's basically like if you take a pentatonic scale, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and you take every other note. So like if you go um, this one, and this one, and this one, and then you take these two, and you raise them up an octave, so you get two more voices here, right? um, so you can get 5-note voicings that way. And then what I've actually been practicing is a little bit different than that. I just take the top note off, so it's a 4-note voicing, but each note is taken from a pentatonic scale. So what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks is to take from the major pentatonic and the minor pentatonic. Technically, I'm doing each set twice, but I'm changing how I think about it, whether I'm thinking about it as coming from the major pentatonic scale or coming from the minor pentatonic scale. So for example, like today, I did like taking from the F minor pentatonic scale. That would be exactly the same as taking from the A flat major scale, A flat pentatonic scale, A flat major pentatonic scale, which I did like a week ago, a couple weeks ago, or whenever it was. I can't remember when it was, but I did both of those. But the idea is you just change how you're thinking of it, what you're thinking of as the root. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks, right before sight reading. Yeah. And I just have tomorrow before I'm done with that. So okay, and then I'm gonna change that. Yeah, the sight reading, I'm wondering if I can, I think maybe, I don't know, I need to think about that. So I think one thing I'm gonna schedule here is 5 p.m. on Tuesday. I'm going to schedule brainstorm ways of practicing sight reading. I might think about seeing if I can find some. What I should do is I should go to the college and check and see if my professors mind if there's like a bunch of copies of like this rhythmic sight reading practice book, and it just has like tons and tons of rhythms. So but maybe what I'll do is see if they have enough of those that I can just have one, and then I'll use that. And it's nice because it has stuff in multiple voices, so that you have like one voice is doing one rhythm, one voice is doing another rhythm, so you're having to read, and maybe everything is not always unison or linear, but some kind of combination, which I think for pianists is an important thing to know how to do. Okay, I'm going to say that the brainstorm ways of practicing sight reading will take like 30 minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to be in town on Friday. So I think I'm going to be running soundboard for vocal jazz at 3, from 3 to 4. So at 4, I will say, ask Zach if I like to talk to myself in second person. I don't know what it is. I read something about that, like it helps you feel more confident or just like objective with yourself. This is completely an aside, but I like to talk to myself in second person. It just helps me. So ask Zach if you can have a rhythm reading book copy. That will take 10 minutes at the most. So, cool. I have that. Hmm. Okay. If I post more videos like this, there's going to be a lot of moments of me just thinking. So if this is not like, I don't know, maybe I'll someday get to the point where like I'm editing these much more laboriously. Um, but right now there's going to be a lot of just quietness and boring thinking. So if it's not your jam, that's fine. mm, okay. Yes. Um, what time? Um, at 3:30. Uh, I think I might be kind of busy, but maybe we can another time. Okay. So let's do. Okay, so this practicing melody stuff, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to do. Yeah, I'll do this for all these tunes that I know. I'll just do one a day. Um, and the way that I'm doing it here is so it's at 100 BPM, it's in every key, and it's with both hands and singing the words, um, and it's with the melody straight. So um, I just want to do this so that I can say, I can write down in my notebook, I did this. So in this way, I know this tune in this way, or I can specifically say I practiced it this way, and that I feel like just being able to write down I practiced it this way gives me the confidence to know, like, like, like I've been doing my homework. So yeah. Uh, okay. So all the super easy tunes that everybody knows. Autumn Leaves, 11 to 11:30 on Wednesday. Okay. On Thursday. Oh, from 11 to 11:30. But let's see, but not for me. From 11 to 11:30. Okay. Friday from 11 to 11:30. Green Dolphin Street. Oops. Street. From 11 to 11:30. So all these I'm just doing in every key with both hands, playing the melody, very straight, and singing the words with my voice. Uh, very simple. It gives me something to write down in my notebook. So I can look back and say, oh, I practiced this day, I practiced this day. And if I have a teacher, I can say, here's what I practiced. So they know. Okay. Saturday. It could happen to you. Okay. Sunday. All the things. From 11 to 11:30. Okay, Monday the 19th, 11 to 11:30. Just friends. So what I'm doing is, in my phone, if you type in part of an event that you scheduled another day. My hair is doing weird things. Don't like this. I need a haircut. This is fine. This is fine. If you type in something that you already have talked about or scheduled, then it'll autofill in the rest. So what I'm doing is just that, and then I'm changing the melody name each time. Okay, so just friends from 11 to 11:30. Oh, this one I've definitely not practiced in every key. Or even, I don't know if I practiced another key than the one I learned it in first. On Jimmy Cobb's birthday, I'll practice Everything Happens to Me. From 11 to 11:30. On Wednesday the 21st, I'm going to practice starting at 11. Almost Like Being in Love. And finish that at 11:30. Okay. On the 22nd, There's No Greater Love. I'm just going to abbreviate this to No Greater Love. From 11 to 11:30. Okay. Friday, I'm going to do Cherokee. Let's see. What's up with this thing? Trying to charge my phone. Not working. There's a USB port in the back of my computer. There we go. Okay, sweet. Not right now. Okay, what was I saying? Cherokee. (11 to 11:30). Saturday the 24th. I fall in love too easily. Love too easily. From 11 to 11:30. The 25th. For the 25th, I want to be happy. I'm This one I don't know the words to. Okay. I'll have to look those up. This one I'm not sure I know the words to either. Someday my prince. Not all of them. There's some of them. Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love and how happy that moment will be. When the prince of my dreams comes to me, he'll whisper I love you and steal a kiss or two. I don't know what the lyrics are there. Okay. From 11 to 11:30. (27). Beatrice. Let's see. Oh yeah. Dude, everybody liked this tune in Missoula. I got my bachelor's in Missoula. And everybody called this tune all the time. Okay. This one I think should not be that hard. What is this thing called love? Abbreviated to just what is this thing? Okay. On the 29th, I'm going to do Days of Wine and Roses. This one has actually maybe not the most straightforward of melodies. I think it has a lot of leaps. I don't know. I don't just keep track in my head of what tunes have a lot of leaps or not, unless I know them really well. But yeah, this one might be a little tricky in other keys. Days. I'm going to abbreviate it to an acronym. DOWAR. From 11 to 11:30. Okay. On the 30th, I'm flying away. So I'll practice in a plane. On my handy dandy melodica without any sound. What does that mean? This says alone together, open parens, almost close parens. None of the other ones say that. I'm gonna still put it in here. I don't know what that almost means. Should have been more specific. Alone together. Okay. The 31st. I'll be in Oklahoma. This may have to change, but I'm going to go ahead and put it for 11 a.m. Stella by Starlight. I haven't really taken that melody through all keys. But that should be good. Okay. And on the 1st, I remember April. I'll remember April. Ironically, on the first day of February. Okay. And the last one that I have written down here is night and day. This one I have not really super dug into much at all. I remember I had a saxophone player friend. What? Look at my hair. Why is it doing that? It just looks so goofy. I'm self-conscious. I feel so self-conscious. I'm just... There. This is helping. I think that's helping. I need a haircut. Okay. And then on the 2nd, the tune that I'm going to do is called Night and Day. Oh, yeah, I was saying I had a saxophone player friend in Missoula who really liked this tune. There's a Kenny Garrett recording of it with who is it? I think it's Brian Blade, and then like some Japanese bass player, I think. It's amazing. Triology is the name of the album. Fantastic album, dude. All just like the modern Kenny Garrett language. Woo! Disgusting. In a good way. But anyway, he loved that tune. So he was learning it. He was like, you should learn Night and Day. And so I kind of did. And yeah, it's a good tune. I never know how to kind of differentiate the B major that happens at the beginning, like the G flat. It's whatever. That's one that at some point I'd like to go through and sing through the chord changes. I think that would be helpful. Okay, cool. So from 11 to 11:30. Okay, cool. So that's just like 40 minutes of the process that I'm trying to get in the habit of doing, of just scheduling practice out so that I know when I'm doing what, and I have a plan. If you have a plan for something, you can choose to follow it or you can choose to change it. But if you have no plan, then you maybe will or won't get what you're trying to do. So I hope this is helpful. And thanks for enjoying this time with me.